good day. This is Mrs. A, your science teacher. I would like to remind that this presentation follows no copyright infringement law. Our topic for today is all about electron configuration, and this is the continuation of what we have discussed from the first day, Monday, January 4, and that is the quantum mechanical model of atom. Okay, to start with, our myth, goals and learning objectives for today are: first, define the term electron configuration. Second, is to write the electron configurations for the elements of the periodic table. And lastly, we will demonstrate how electron orbitals are filled in accordance with Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hans' rule. Okay, let's get started. What is the meaning of electron configuration? In atomic physics and quantum chemistry, the electron configuration is the distribution of electrons of an atom or molecule. Now, we have studied Niels Bohr's model regarding electrons, that it moves along the orbits and it has the sublevel orbital or orbitals, and that is the S, P, D, F. S stands for sharp, P for parallel, F for fundamental, and D for diffuse. The electron configuration of an element is a list of the atomic orbitals which are occupied by electrons, and how many electrons are in each of those orbitals. This principle has been defined by the Aufbau principle, which is there are rules in writing electron configurations. Okay, what do we need to remember? Each electron that is added to an atom is placed in the lowest energy orbital that is available. So the orbitals are filled in this order: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, and so on. Meaning to say, the number of energy level is represented by the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up, and the sublevels or orbitals are the s, p, d, f. Another, the different sections of the periodic table are very important in understanding electron configuration. And there are 4 blocks. As I said before, that is the S block, P block, D block, and F block. So you always remember the special rules for the D and F blocks. When it comes to D block, the principal number -1, and for the F, the principal number -2. What do S, P, and D and F means? These refer to the sublevels within the principal quantum level, n. So, for n, that is equals to 1, and there is only one sublevel, s. N equals 2, there are 2 sublevels, s and p. N equals 3, there are 3 sublevels, s, p, and d. So, within each level, there are n sublevels. The one you see on your screen is a periodic table divided into the S, P, D, and F block. Okay, so let's start with group 1A and 2A, which is the red one. That is, or those electron configuration of these elements ends with S. And for the P block, here on your right side, okay, not including the helium, because helium has an atomic number of 2, meaning to say its electron configuration is 1s2. Okay, for the yellow, that is the D block, D as in dada. Okay, so these elements, the electron configurations is with sublevel or orbital d. And lastly, the green one is the F block. Okay, so again, I'll erase it first. Okay, so This is S block, P block, okay? So, D block and F. This will help you understand or remember that, for example, if you made the electron configuration for lithium, your last sublevel is P, that is wrong. Because the last sublevel of lithium should be in S block. Remember, the S block, the red one, the left side of the periodic table, and then on the right side, um, the principal number is the N, the blue one, that is the P block. That the middle, always remember, principal number minus 1, that is the D block, and principal number minus 2, that is the F block. What is the maximum electrons that can be filled up or out in each sublevel or orbitals? In S block, we have the maximum of 2 electrons, P block, 6 electrons, D block, 10 electrons, and F block is 14 electrons. Meaning to say that S orbital cannot held or accept or hold electrons more than 2. What about the Pauli exclusion principle? This means that each orbital can hold no more than 2 electrons. Okay? So, two electrons in the same orbital must have opposite spin. As you can see on your screen, the electrons move, okay, in opposite spin. And then if two or more orbitals are available at the same energy level, one electron should be placed in each orbital until the available orbitals are occupied by one electron, and any additional electrons are placed in the half-filled orbitals. So in identical particles with spin half of unity, let us put it inside the sphere. Now, as you can see, its spin in opposite direction, so there will be a negative 1/2 and positive 1/2 spin. So spin down other state and the same state spin up. So spin down, that is the ground state, and the spin up, that is the excited state. Therefore, the Pauli exclusion principle states that two particles with the speed half of unity cannot share the same quantum state at the same time. So how does electron behave? It behaves as if it were spinning about an axis through its center. So meaning to say there is two directions of spin correspond to two possible values for the spin. And that is the quantum number. So it represents as m subscript s. Okay, so now we're going to learn simple learning mnemonics in writing electron configuration. As you can see on your left side, you can use this technique so that you can have a complete and in order sub-levels based on also in the energy level. So we have this 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, and so on. Now, you can you need to follow the line here. You need to follow this line, okay? A chain line. Make sure that you will not make any mistake kasi magkakamali kayo. So, some students follow this technique, but I'm going to teach you another way so that you will remember um, the rules or in order sub-levels when writing electron configuration of an element. So, let's start. So, we have the S, S, P, S, P. So, you can remember C. Let's use this. Si Sammy pumasok sa pinto. Again, si Sammy pumasok sa pinto. Okay. So that is the first line. Okay? Next, S, D, P, S, D. So we have si Daddy pumasok sa door. Again, si Daddy pumasok sa door. Okay? Then, P, S, F, D pumasok sa front door. Then, another one, P, S, F, D pumasok sa front door. Okay, again, let's go back to the first one. Si Sammy pumasok sa pinto. Si Daddy pumasok sa door. Pumasok sa front door. Pumasok sa front door. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, this mnemonics that I am teaching to you is the same format or sequence or from the picture on this on our left side. Ayan, sunod yan. Now, paano ko nga ba isusulat ngayon yung mga energy levels? The energy levels corresponds number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, we need to follow. If, for example, number 1, therefore, dapat isa lang yung makikita nating energy level na may number 1. Kapag number 2, dalawa lang din yung number 2 na makikita natin. Okay? So, let's start. Subukan natin ha. Okay. So, this is 1. So, meron tayong number 1. Meaning to say, yung pangalawang S natin, that is 2. Kasi sinabi ko nga kanina, kung ano yung number, yun lang din yung may natin. So, isang 1 lang, tapos 2 na agad. So, dapat makakakita ako ng dalawang number 2. So, for P, it should be 2. Okay? And then, yung next S, kumpleto na natin yung number 2, may dalawa na tayong number 1, may isang number 1, so, we're going to move on number 3. Therefore, kailangan makakita ako ng tatlong number 3. If meron na tayong number 2, kumpleto na pati number 1, therefore, yung next is number 3. So, meron pa tayong kulang na isang number 3. Now, since ang next natin is S, ayan, siya na yung magiging number 4. Bakit? Kasi, hindi pwede maging 3S dahil meron na tayong 3S. Siya na ay number 4 dahil ang last na kasunod niya, ang last na nakita na natin ay 3S. So, this would be 4S. Now, for letter D, this will be 3D. Remember that we also follow S, the sequence P, D, and F. Okay? So, ayan. Now, for this, we have another 4. Kasi yung meron na tayo is yung 3. Okay? 3P. So, therefore, this would be 4P. Next is 5S dahil the last one is 4S, 5S. And then next is 4D. Kasi ang sundan natin ay 3D, then from 4D. Now, titignan ninyo, yung number 1, meron tayong isang number 1, may dalawang number 2, 1, 2, 3, tatlong number 3. So, kompleto na yung number 3 natin. So, then, 1, 2, 3. Tatlo pa lang yung number 4 natin. So, kulang pa tayo ng isa. So, moving on, the next P is 5P dahil ang ating last ay 4P. Next is 6S, okay, because we followed 5S, and then 4F. Okay? So, wala pa tayong F. Ito yung first na F natin. And since hindi pa kompleto yung ating 4, tatlo pa lang kanina, so, pang-apat, apat na. Bilang natin ulit. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have now completed 4 levels or 4 energy levels. Now, the next one is 5D. Dahil pinalo natin, sinundan natin yung 4D. Moving on, we have this 6p because the last is 5p. Okay? Then we have 7s because the last is 6s. And then 5f because the last is 4f. And then last is 6d. Okay? Because we have the 5D. So, this is the maximum. Hindi na tayo masyadong abot yan sa 6D dahil napakadami na. So, again, you have two options to choose. You will going to write this figure or you follow the mnemonics. Again, let's have a recap. Si Sammy pumasok sa pinto. Si Daddy pumasok sa door. Pumasok sa front door. Pumasok sa front door. I hope you're catching up easily. Okay, let's start or let's practice to write an electron configuration using the element hydrogen. Ayan, and the chemical symbol or the element symbol is capital letter H. On your periodic table, you can say this one and it stands for the atomic number and the atomic weight is also 1 and you round out it 1 also. Okay? So, let's start. I attach this table so that you will remember kung ilan ba ang maximum electrons that can occupy the sublevels or the orbitals. So, to start with, sabi ko kanina, we have the mnemonic C, Sami. Okay? Oh, let's have 2 first muna. And then you write the energy level. We have the 1. And then we have here 2. Okay? Sabi ko kanina, kung ilan yung number, yun na yung makita nyo sa energy level sa unahan ng SPDF. Okay? So, ang kailangan nating mabuo na electrons ay isa lang. So, ang titignan lang muna natin dito ay yung kanyang atomic number. At sinabi ko sa inyo nung Monday that our atomic number, the protons and electrons are the same number. So, ang kailangan lang natin ay 1. Then, we're going to use a superscript o yung number susulat natin in exponential form. So, we have, if the S level is maximum electrons is 2, so kung ilalagay nyo po ay 2, ang kailangan lang natin ay 1, so meaning to say, mali siya. Okay? So, dapat, ang nakalagay lang ay 1. Kung ilan yung kanyang atomic number, yun din yung electrons na pupunuin nyo po o kailangan ninyo. So, therefore, hindi na natin kailangan ng 2s kasi ang hydrogen ay isa lang ang kailangan. Ngayon, ang kanyang electron configuration is 1s1. Okay? So, magbabawas tayo ng isa dahil 2 yung maximum electrons ng s orbital. Pero ang kailangan lang natin ay 1, kaya 1 lang yung ilalagay. Let us try the beryllium. That is the element. And then, the symbol name of beryllium is Be. Okay? So, ang atomic number niya is 4. At ang kanyang atomic mass is 9.01. Then, atomic mass units. And i-round up natin, so 9. So, hindi naman natin siya kailangan. We're going to focus on the atomic number. Okay? So, yan, binilugan ko na. Now, attaching the sublevels maximum electrons chart. So, ito, mag-start na tayo. Sabi natin kanina, we have si Sami. Okay? So, si Sami pumasok. Let's add P. Pero ang kailangan lang natin ay 4. So, we have 1 here, second energy level, and then second energy level. Okay? Pwede nyo tignan yung mnemonic sa atin kanina o yung parang chain na chart na sinusunod na parang ahas yung path niya. Okay? Movement na ahas yung path niya. Pwede nyo yung gamitin yun. It's up to you, but basta as long that you give the correct electron configuration in order. So, we have 4. So, kung sa S natin, ang maximum electrons ay 2, ayan, so, ilalagay natin dito ay 2. Okay. So, ilan ang kulang pa natin? We need more 2 electrons. So, we just put it here 2. Okay. Do we still need 2p? Okay? Syempre, hindi na. Hindi natin siya kailangan. Bakit? If you're going to add the electrons, that is 2 and 2. So, 2 plus 2, okay, that is equals to 4. Ayan. So, meaning to say, okay na meron tayong 4 na electrons kasi ang kanyang atomic number ay 4 o 4. So, I hope nakakasunod kayo. On this time, let us try write the electron configuration of magnesium. That is the element and the symbol is Mg. Okay? Now, let's have the chart. So, we have, let's start S, si Sami, pumasok sa pinto. Okay? Again, si Sami pumasok sa pinto. Again, si Sami pumasok sa pinto. Okay, now, so let's write the energy level. This should be 1 and this should be 2. Again, this is 2. And since we end to T2S, this will become 3S. And since we end to 2P, this will become 3P. Now, how many electrons do we need? Okay, we need 12 since yung atomic number ng magnesium ay 12. So, let's start. Ang S is 2, maximum niya. And then another S, 2. And then 2 plus 2, that is equals to, o, lalagay ko sa taas ha, 2 plus 2. Okay, now, for the p orbital, the maximum electrons is 6. Kaya ilalagay natin ay 6. So, plus 6. Now, if you're going to add it, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 6, rather, is equals to 10. So, ilang pa ang kulang natin? We need 2 more electrons. Okay? So, therefore, this is 2. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna use this one para mas makita nyo. So, 2, ayan na. And then 2, and then 6, and then 2. Then, if we're going to add, we have 2 plus 2 plus 6, 10 plus 2 is equals to 12. Now, we already completed yung 12 electrons na kailangan since ang atomic number ng magnesium ay 12. So, therefore, hindi na natin kailangan yung 3p, kaya buburahin na lang natin siya. Okay. So, ayan. So, the electron configuration of magnesium or element magnesium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and then 3s2. Okay, in this time, let us write the electron configuration of the element or the noble gas neon, which has the atomic number of 10. Okay, so, showing the chart, let's start. We have si Sami, pumasok sa, I think, this is enough na kasi pag nakita niyo naman. Then you write the energy level 1, we have here 2, we have here 2, and then this becomes 3 kasi ang sunundan niya ay yung 2s. Okay? Now, so how many electrons do we need? We need 10. Then you write it in the superscript. S can occupy maximum of 2 electrons, 2 electrons, and then 6 electrons. Remember, we need 10. Okay? So, meaning to say, if we're going to add this 2, oh, and then another 2, ayan, and then plus 6, okay? So, if you're going to add it, we have 2 plus 2 plus 6, that is 10. Okay na yung ating electrons. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, our electron configuration for neon is, burahin lang natin, Oops, nawala yung number 2. Okay, let's go. Let's write it. Ayan. 1s2, 2s2, and 2p6. Therefore, we don't need this anymore kasi kailangan lang natin ay 10. Again, the electron configuration of neon is 1s2, 2s2, and 2p6. So, ayan, na-practice nyo na yung kung paano gumawa ng electron configuration. So, ito yung electron configuration ng first 11 elements starting from number 1, atomic number, hanggang number 11. So, we have the hydrogen, 1s1, helium, 1s2, dahil number 2 siya, lithium, 1s2, 2s1, beryllium, 1s2, 2s2, boron, 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Basta laging tatandaan na ang titignan ninyo yung atomic number nila kasi yun yung kanilang number of electrons. Okay? Okay, in element beryllium, teka lang, lalagyan pa natin ng isa pang box here kasi nakalimutan ni ma'am. Okay, so in beryllium, the element is Be, the symbol rather, at yung kanyang atomic number ay 4. In Hans rule, nasa Hans rule na tayo, sabi daw, we need to occupy two maximum electrons of 2 before going to the next, o yung bawat boxes na nire-represent niya. So, kung ang S ay merong dalawa, therefore, ang kanyang box ay isa lang. Kung ang P, 6, therefore, ang kanyang boxes ay tatlo. If we're going to have the electron configuration for the element beryllium, so this would be S and S. Okay? So, 1 S si Sami, di ba? 1 S 2 and then 2 S 2. Okay? Now, putting electrons inside the boxes, we use the symbol arrows. Okay? Pag arrows up, okay, the positive 1/2 spin, and then arrow down, negative 1/2 spin ng electrons. So, up muna tayo. So, this is the excited state. Okay? Ayan. Then, going down. So, dalawa. So, bawat box, lagi niyong tatandaan, merong kasyang dalawa. Okay. Ayan. So, this is a P block dahil meron siyang tatlong boxes. But since we only need 4 electrons, so okay na to. Hindi na natin kailangan yung P block. Okay? Now, moving on, enhanced rule, by the way, in any degenerate levels, we have same energies. Always fill singly with arrows, positive 1/2 before you then pair with the down arrows or negative 1/2. So, kailangan match spin states are said to have parallel spin states. Kung so, titignan nyo po, yung nitrogen na merong atomic number and electrons na 7, so meron tayong 7 arrows. So, kung titignan nyo po ito, 1s2, okay, check na siya. And then, 2s2, so meron tayong 4, okay na. And then, 2p3, okay. So, ito po yung sinasabi ko, you need to fill out first the arrow up bago magbaba. So, 1, 2, 3. Kapag ko po, nilagyan ko po nito, ayan agad, at wala nito, yan, wala yung arrow daw dito, hindi siya magiging tama. Okay? So, dapat you filled out first the arrow up bago ka magda-down. Okay? So, ito yung tama niya. Okay. Now, moving on. So, pag nakita niyo po yung carbon electron configuration, ayan. So, ang carbon ay 6. Okay? 6 ang kanyang electrons kasi ang atomic number niya. So, this is correct. So, we have 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p2. Okay? So, okay yan. Pwede din naman nasa baba siya, depende sa kanyang state. Okay? So, again, pero kapag po ginanyan nyo po, arrow up then down, tapos arrow up and down with this, mali po siya. Okay? So, next. So, ayun lang po for the Hans rule. I hope you're going to watch everything. Unahin nyo muna itong panoorin bago yung second video. That is from the DepEd TV. Kaya makakatulong yun sa inyo. So, I just follow up yung mga yung dapat gawin kasi para mas maintindihan ninyo. Baka pag ako, mas maintindihan ninyo. So, ayan. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys learned something new regarding the how to write the electron configuration. So, see you on Monday and please finish all your tasks. Okay, goodbye and thank you. See you next week.